Hey everybody, a good Wednesday morning. This is Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. Let's talk about the better weather ahead today as the remnants of Ida are passing well to our north, and we're starting to see the clouds and showers kind of move that direction as well. Not that we're not going to still see some scattered showers today, but you can clearly see on the map here, I got this loop in a couple times, that the remnants of Ida are up here in West Virginia. They've merged with this cold front. And as we've seen in the Carolinas, that's not a good sign if you have a tropical system and a front merging. This is bad news for areas up here, heading up here into areas around Pennsylvania. I'm going to turn on all the advisories just real quickly. And you can see we've got numerous flash flood warnings up here in western parts of Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, up into the Northeast. And that's going to continue today. For us, notice these scattered showers out east. I'm going to pause this here in a second, but I'll let it loop a couple times. We've got these trailing troughs. Those are those orange lines. Those are going to pivot through and kind of rotate off to the east today. And until they're completely through, we're going to have the chance at least for a scattered shower or storm. But the key part here is the winds have kind of come around to the southwest. That's a little bit less favorable for severe weather until you get out here because the winds are still coming a little bit out of this direction. So there's still a little bit of wind shear in this area of North Carolina. And for that reason, there's still going to be the risk for an isolated strong storm, basically from I-77 east. So I wouldn't be surprised to see one or two areas see a strong storm. And I'm going to pop up the severe weather outlook. I'll turn off the satellite imagery here just for a second so we can see this. But you can see we've got this low risk from around the Charlotte-Greensboro area down to the south. But you get back into eastern North Carolina, you get into this medium risk, which extends up into the tidewater. And then look at this, kind of where the front, this is like a classic severe weather setup. You're going to have the low tracking along the warm front. And right in here from Baltimore, D.C. to Philly, to just south of New York, you got a high risk for severe weather. So that's an area we'll be watching. But for our area, notice it's eastern North Carolina. We've got to keep an eye on these bands of showers and storms that are trying to develop today. Tomorrow, that threat is down to zero as we go into the afternoon. But we also have the risk for some isolated heavy rain. You can see the low risk across the Carolinas. But look at that. That's an extreme risk in purple. You don't often see that. You see that area right there? Boy, that is going to be some serious rain today. So the worst of this stuff is past us. But let me show you how this should unfold this afternoon. All right, so let's look at the future cast as we look at this system moving through the area. I'm gonna kind of widen this out a little bit just so you can see. This is 11 a.m. as I'm recording this, but we go into the afternoon. You could see some clusters of storms developing around 4 or 5 o'clock. And again, I'm not anticipating this to be too strong, but one or two of these storms could be strong to severe, especially as they move into eastern North Carolina. But you see overall, the chance of rain goes down pretty quickly tonight, and by tomorrow, everything is long gone, which is great news because that's going to bring in much cooler air. In fact, let me back this up and we'll switch this to temperatures. So you look at the temperatures behind this frontal system, you can see the 70s and 80s here, but look up to the northwest. We've got a true taste of autumn air that's going to be moving in tonight into tomorrow, and that's going to set the stage for a significant cool down with highs only the low to mid 80s. But the key part here, I think, is going to be the dew point temperatures, because let me show you that real quickly. We'll switch this over to dew points, because I think this is the bigger story. You see this big pool of dry air, dew points in the 40s, 50s, and 60s that'll be coming in. It's still pretty muggy out there right now with temperatures in the 70s and dew points in the 70s, so you know it's super muggy, but that's going to be changing in the next 24 hours as we start to see much cooler air move into the region. So let's look again real quickly. I'll pop up the satellite and we'll show you the system kind of moving off to the north and east. So expect a scattered shower storm possible mainly east of I-77 today into eastern North Carolina, but for the most part, the worst weather has passed us.